Good evening. You're watching the news on Croatian television. The commercial court in Zagreb has issued a decision listing creditors' claims toward Agrokor. The document establishes which claims are recognized and which ones are disputed by the group's government-appointed crisis manager. This means that creditors now have a window to appeal claims that were rejected. Crisis manager Ante Ramljak has accepted claims in the amount of 41.5 billion kuna and disputed ones amounting to 16.5 billion kuna. Approved guarantees total 118 billion, while disputed ones stand at 68 billion. The High Commercial Court will consider the appeals. Croatia's environment minister says 2018 will bring major changes to the way the country manages its waste. Tomislav Ćorić was in Krapina today, where he signed a financing deal for a recycling center in Zlatar Bistrica district. Over the past 6 months, the government has signed 42 such agreements with local governments. Towns and districts are being urged to procure recycling bins. Some waste sites will also be phased out this year.
We are planning everything from waste sorting on the household level, recycling bins, which we'll be procuring within the month, to building complex infrastructure, sorting plants, and procuring recycling trucks in the second quarter. We want to do everything we can so that by the end of 2018, Croatia is up to speed when it comes to waste management.
Lawmakers will go back to work on Wednesday after a month-long break. Tomorrow's session will begin with the customary question and answer period with the Prime Minister and his cabinet. Representatives of Croatia's two largest parties, the ruling HDZ and the opposition SDP, had this to say about what they expected to happen in 2018.
When it comes to reform of the education system, the public administration, healthcare, the judiciary, and improving the business climate, this will require passing a considerable number of laws. But I don't think that we will be far off from the amount of legislation adopted in 2017. We covered a large number of laws last year.
I expect the ruling majority to stop looking at who is proposing legislation and then taking their position toward it on the basis of partisanship. Clearly, our awareness has not yet evolved to this level. Defense Minister Damir Krstičević met today with his Ukrainian counterpart Stepan Poltorak, who is here for a two-day visit. The two ministers are discussing how to step up defense industry cooperation and European and global political and security issues. The visit includes a viewing of Croatia's tactical and technical weapons, which will be an opportunity for Croatian defense manufacturers to present their products. The two ministers also discussed the 2015 overhaul of Croatia's MiG fighter planes, which Croatia claims was botched. It has taken legal action against those responsible.
You know that this is very important to the readiness of the Croatian military. I briefed the minister on this issue and asked him to get involved. He told me that he would raise the issue at a session of the National Security Council tomorrow. I am impressed by Croatia's defense industry and the reforms and the development it has achieved in the defense industry field.
Croatia's president is traveling to Sarajevo tonight for an official visit. Kolinda Grabar-Kitarović will meet with members of Bosnia and Herzegovina's tripartite presidency on Wednesday. An issue that is sure to be on the agenda is election legislation, a crucial issue for Croats in Bosnia and Herzegovina. The Croat community there is demanding changes to be made to the country's electoral law in order to achieve equal representation in government. Bosnian Croat politician Božo Ljubić says Croatia's president has extended her full support to the effort.
Not only the president, all relevant international institutions are calling for the implementation of the Constitutional Court ruling before a deadline that expires 6 months ahead of the elections, which are scheduled for October. The most recent resolution passed by the Council of Europe explicitly calls for the swift adoption of changes to electoral legislation having to do with representation in the House of Peoples of the Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Otherwise, we will have a situation where a power gridlock in the Federation will be reflected on the state level.
Fake news was the main issue discussed by journalists, PR professionals, and other media experts at a panel in Zagreb today. Who are the interest groups spreading fake news? What is the responsibility of the media when it comes to fake news, and how to recognize it? Were some of the questions addressed by the panelists. They identified a lack of legal recourse and protections against fake news as the key problem related to this issue.
You cannot take this to any higher authority, and that is what is being worked on right now. The EU and the rest of the world is looking for how to regulate this. Digital and virtual life is moving at a faster pace than our legislation. It is becoming our reality, but regulations have not kept up with it. First off, I favor very strong regulation. Now, I don't mean repressive measures, but secondly, I believe education and improving media literacy on all levels is extremely important.
On January 1st, Bulgaria took over the EU's 6-month rotating presidency. Bulgarian officials have said they hope to give the Western Balkans a more powerful voice within the bloc. To mark the occasion in Croatia, an inauguration ceremony was held today at the Bulgarian embassy in Zagreb.
We want to work on creating closer ties within the Western Balkans. Firstly, we want to build infrastructure, internet, natural gas, and other connections. We will have to invest a bit more money so that this part of Europe can catch up to the rest of Europe.
In sports, Croatia's Mirjana Lučić-Baroni and Donna Vekić are through to the second round of the Australian Open. Last year's semi-finalist Lučić-Baroni defeated American Shelby Rogers in 2 sets. She plays Aleksandra Sasinović of Belarus next. Donna Vekić beat Nao Hibino 7-5-6-3 to set up a second-round match against Angelique Kerber of Germany.
Tomorrow's forecast calls for cloudy skies and occasional rain. The mountains may see some snow, while the coast might get some heavier showers and thunder showers. The valleys of the interior may also see some light snow in the morning. The precipitation will taper off by the afternoon, and skies will begin to clear in the west. On the coast, there will be moderate to high southwesterly and southeasterly winds, which will gradually shift to a strong northwesterly along the shore. Morning lows will range from 0 to 5 degrees in the interior and from 6 to 11 on the coast. The day's highs will be between 4 and 9 degrees inland and between 10 and 15 on the coast. Temperatures will dip significantly by evening. The 3-day outlook calls for sunny skies on Thursday in the interior. Another system is headed our way on Friday, bringing cold temperatures, rain, and snow. The mountains may see heavier snowfall, while a light blanket of snow is expected in the valleys on Saturday morning. It will be sunny on the coast on Thursday, but clouds and rain will return on Friday. Heavy downpours are expected on Saturday in the south. Southeasterly winds on Friday will shift to a northeasterly in the north on Saturday.
And that brings us to the end of our program. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow.